said, I might be tired, but at least I'm tired from doing what I love.
What stands out about you is that you are just so unapologetically authentic. Like, who you are is so clear. Like, you've literally manifested your tribe.
I've been famous. I'm just waiting on everybody else to catch up. Shout out to Little Rand. That is my inner child. And, he wasn't allowed to participate in Halloween and dress up and trick or treat. So I decided I wanted to dress up for some of these shows on the tour. I'm not doing any more competition shows where I have to prove that I'm good enough for anything. I just don't have the energy. Unless I'm on the panel, I will not be participating.
You're a masterclass. You're a masterclass. You should receive that and believe that.
And I would rather have support than fans. Luck favors the prepared. Okay.
Welcome to the Let There Be Art podcast. I'm your host, Devin Michael, and today we're going to kick it off with a throwback episode of Durand Bernarr, super talented singer, actor, just overall creative, hilarious, one of our friends in the industry of over 10 years now, and just all the incredible things that he's doing. So much of this conversation is still very relevant for what's going on today, and just wanted to give you a few updates on his career since then. He's released a new album entitled Bloom, which released this past February of 2025. He's currently on the You Gon' Grow 2 tour. Make sure you check the link in his description so you can see where you can find him on the road. He also just released his Colors in April, his Colors performance, which is a huge platform, and then T-Pain's Wisconsin Fest. He'll be on this June 2025, as well as Lollapalooza, summer of 2025 in Chicago as well. So shout out to Duran for all the amazing things that he's doing, and let's get with this episode. Y'all got to check it out. It's one of the funniest episodes we have, for sure.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jade Nova, and this is Durand Bernarr.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Oh, I love this radio voice that you have. Can I hear it again?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You're joined at 107.3 The Way. Okay.
Yes. Look. So this is actually the first time I did any kind of introduction. That was like really, we should like keep that thing going. Do you like it, Junie? Yeah, thank you. That was my baby boy. All right, so let's get this thing going. Let's not even waste no time.
Yes.
What was the journey to becoming Durand Bernarr, the artist? What has been your journey?
My journey has been having an amazing support system to invest and pour into my abilities and my skills. Well, to develop skills.
Mm-hmm.
I had a plethora of music that I was also exposed to. Jazz, gospel, hip hop, R&B, opera, classical, all types of different genres. And then also being a student of I guess every circumstance that I found myself in, just saying, what can I take from this to apply it? And also grateful that I had people that were selfless with their information and their knowledge to see that, oh, you have something, let me give you a tidbit and see what you do with that. Mm-hmm. And then to have a turnaround like this is, I'm glad that I'm giving people something to be proud of.
We're so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I am. Can I just take like 34 seconds to just tell you, like, and I know I tell you all the time, but I'm so proud of you. I'm so incredibly proud of you. Like, everything that you're doing, like all the ceilings that you are just saying, what fucking ceiling? Like, nigga, you're like out here doing this and you're doing it independently.
That's the...
Like, so this is what Are you independent by choice, first of all? Are you independent by choice?
I think right now, I would like to say that until a deal presents itself that I feel makes sense and that's fair to all parties involved, I would much rather just rely on my resources that I have, as well as my village and my community, of people that believe in me enough to help me in whatever capacity that they can. And that's been making way for me, not only to open doors, but to create my own doors. Because
you are building doors. You are a carpenter like Jesus, honey, because you are out here making doors.
Yeah.
I love it. I stand. Has your idea of success, or because we grew up in the era of the Brandys and the Beyoncés and just all the artists that we saw had this visibility because of major labels. It was like a very specific trajectory. And like you said, you're kind of creating these doors that have never been before. And we're kind of like building something that hasn't really been done before. So do you feel like your idea of what success looks like has shifted as an independent artist?
What's interesting is my vision of success for my life is just to be stable. Be able to wake up and do what makes me happy, what I can put to use my skills and my abilities. There's a quote that says, I don't know if I said this or if I heard it, but
Flex.
I said, I might be tired, but at least I'm tired from doing what I love.
We're going to say you said that. I'm going to put it at the bottom. So
Period.
We'll add that in post-production.
Yeah.
I heard something too. I say this all the time, but Dave Chappelle, and stop me if you've heard it. Maybe not, because they may not have heard it. But he was saying like that he came from a family of like people who really held being educated at a really high regard. And when he told his family that he wanted to get into entertainment, they're like, everyone doesn't find success. Like, what if you're not successful in what you do? You should go to school. And he's like, if I can do what I love, making a teacher's salary, then I'm successful.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have such a high bar for what it means to be successful as a creative?
Social media, society, all that stuff.
Really, compared to anything else, though, you think?
What else would it be besides this idea of what people are portraying? This is what you need to be successful. This is how you need to look to be accepted. This is what you need to sound like, etc. Because don't think there wasn't a moment where I felt maybe I'm not doing this the right way. Maybe I need to tap into something that isn't me so that I can kind of get my foot in the door.
I could never imagine you thinking that. Because you seem to, things that I admire
it was a brief moment.
I don't even know that it had to be like a millisecond. Because what stands out about you is that you are just so unapologetically authentic. Like, who you are is so clear. Like, you've literally manifested your tribe. Like, it makes sense to me, Yeah. So I just can't even imagine you ever considering not being this nigga.
It was just sonically.
Okay.
Sonically.
So what were you gonna do?
I mean, I don't know. I was like, do I need to just add, auto-tune? Do I need to get trap with it? Like, what is it that I need to do to make something stick? And so that's what the whole song Melody was about. When I, got pulled in and said, Durand, you sound amazing, but the structure of these melodies, they're horrendous. So you need to have something to where it feels good to you, but also it translates to everybody else as well.
Yeah.
So once I found that out, and it was so minor.
Yep.
Once I found that out, I said, okay, this is how I can express myself.
And that's beautiful though, because you're not just holding yourself to like one way of doing things, because we get so like territorial with our stuff that we're not able to be students in this process. So that's a beautiful epiphany.
It's really all about not what you say, but how you say it, but also who it's coming from.
That part.
It's the tone.
It is.
It's the intention. Am I going to be able to receive you telling me something that is personal to me? Because, we are sensitive about our art.
Yeah.
And, but also how much are you willing to learn so that you can move into the next level?
I have a question for you. Well, I have many questions. I don't know why I've said I have a question for you. But I have another question for you. What does it mean to be famous? And do you think that you're famous?
So fame is, for me, is notoriety. It's being on the eyes and ears and lips of people of a grand scale.
Well, then you famous. You're famous.
And this is what Lady Gaga said. She said, "I've been famous. I'm just waiting on everybody else to catch up."
We got to put that on there too. I love
You
that.
know, and
It's a state of mind. But no, that makes sense to me. But it is interesting because I guess back to the whole level of success thing as an independent artist and people comparing us to major label artists. If people have eyes on you, if you have your tribe and people are like you're selling out, how many of your shows?
out of 18 shows, only 5 did not sell out.
Oh, honey, that sounds very famous to me. Are you afraid of fame? Because, honey, I say it's an occupational hazard.
You know, I like to say that I have an idea of what I would like my career to look like or be in the realm of. I use Janelle Monáe as an example.
So that's your blueprint of like
just being able to not only do your music, but then you have all these other things that you can also be great at, and also the two don't have to merge because she doesn't have to do her music with the acting.
Yep.
And then when she wants to do music, she can do that. She's also she was a model. Was she a cover girl?
She's an author. Yep.
Yeah,
she's a cover girl. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many different things that she's able to do, and it's niche for her.
Yep.
And I would like that. However, I could drop an Old Town Road tomorrow, and the entire trajectory of my life is just not the same.
And you'd be okay with that level?
I don't know. I don't. In my mind, I would like to be able to have. I don't know. Maybe I've lived my life long enough in the normalcy realm.
And this brings
because I keep hanging on to that. Like I still want some parts of normalcy where I can still go to the grocery store or I can go just chill. But also now because it's becoming a thing, I'm getting out there.
Yep.
And on top of that, when folks find out just how not tall I am, niggas will try it.
Really?
I've felt it. I've experienced it. It's just not the best feeling. So
what do you mean? Explain that.
It's like being like if I was in a crowded space, and let's say someone is pretending that they don't feel someone behind them, and there's just this. It's just little subtle things.
Yeah.
Or if I'm walking past and somebody just grabs me, it's like, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I might not think of myself as, where this is, but that's not the reality.
No, it's not. Because all the people who follow you, who are watching you, Tiny Desk, all these opportunities, like they're real people behind that. And I think you're right. Like we have lived this life of normalcy, being independent or just not, reaching that Beyonce level thing, right? So there are levels to success, and we do have to like kind of be aware of the fact that these followers are like real people.
Yeah, keep your head on swivel.
Keep your head on swivel. We're gonna
Carmen Rogers. Yes.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right, so Duran has a Google Doc or a notepad of all his favorite quotes. Give us like 2 or 3.
Okay. Let's see. You're not fazed by the world. You're happening to the world.
Who said that?
Jermaine Riley said that. He was talking about my Tiny Desk performance. I was just like, wait a minute. I might have to. Oh, here's another one. Bitches get so caught up in faking it that they forget to actually make it.
Ooh. Who is that?
That's Patti LaHaye from Got to Be Real.
So you just quote fictional characters too.
Ooh, be careful how you speak to yourself because you're listening.
I like that. I needed that. Who said that?
That one I don't. No. And the other one is I'll end on. Let's see. Let me
make it good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to mine because I got a few of them.
I really needed this.
Oh, yes. You got to stay medicated and ejaculated so you don't end up incarcerated. Yeah.
Does that apply to me?
I mean, listen.
All right. Ashe.
Do ladies ejaculate or is that?
I think they can. We'll Google it.
Yeah,
later.
we'll Google it.
So I don't know if you supported Erykah Badu as a vocalist. You were a background vocalist.
Yeah.
How was that transition from supporting another artist to now you navigating this indie journey as a solo artist? What was that transition like?
What's interesting is it wasn't a transition.
Mm-hmm.
I've been juggling both.
Mm-hmm.
I was already working on my artistry, and then Erykah found me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that helped sharpen some things, being under certain tutelages and being in certain spaces and getting certain information and, just cultures, traveling, all that stuff. But it didn't really interfere with me doing my stuff.
Yeah.
So I was able to, and I told her, I was like, I will juggle this as long as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, getting more notoriety, that has been very rewarding, or should I say gratifying, because it's been man hours that I've been putting in, since 16 being on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't feel too different because I've just been doing,
And it seemed like she gave you the space to be you, even as a vocalist for her. Like, it didn't seem like you had to be so far removed from who you are to exist in her space. It's almost like she wanted you as you to exist
Absolutely.
in her world, which is really beautiful and very rare.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was learning all about the rarities with my relationship with her and just how we operated versus other homies who were, getting gigs. Even just with the way that we got together,
Mm-hmm.
she DM'd me and said, "I need you to text me, and I want you in my band."
That's so real.
And it's like, oh, and that's why I was asking other homies, like, oh, so when did Solange hit you up and ask you to be, background? They was like, oh no, that was management.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, okay. Or I'll see, folks on their social media with, their, certain friends. And I'm like, well, where y'all at? And it's like, well, no, we're working, But then we'll be on Erykah's Vine talking about some getting ready for the show and all that, So it's just that I'm so grateful to have that kind of bond, with someone. That's also one of my favorite people. And then I'm also able to just see the world, it's priceless.
Well, I guess performing with her, she has such a huge following, a huge fan base, and then you just headlined your own tour, Wanderlust tour, did your thing. First of all, I'm sure it's more rewarding as a solo artist to do your thing, but I have a couple questions behind this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay grounded, or does it bother you at all? Like, going from doing one space and then going to do your own, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, going from all of these different size venues, all these different opportunities, from doing this thing to that thing. Like, how do you keep yourself grounded as an independent artist in sort of that up and down and back and forth of what you do as a background singer versus headlining your own tour?
I just love to sing.
Yeah.
And I love singing with people as well, and I think as long as I have enough space to be able to express myself in the way that I want to, being on my own tour, doing my own shows, I don't feel that anything is being taken away when I go and support someone that I also, not only do I care about and I love, but I actually fuck with the music.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing
Yeah.
that I listen to that on my own time still,
Mm-hmm.
so that also helps. So I think it's just the genuine love for the craft and what I do.
That's beautiful. So as an independent artist, you have to wear many, many hats.
Mm.
What is a hat that you wear that you wish you did not have to?
I would like to not have to
no,
be
if-
my.
sorry.
No, you good. I would like to not have to be my own assistant, and I think like a thorough assistant, having access to files, knowing where this is, how to export certain things. Yeah, but yeah. But I do have I do have an assistance in a certain area when it pertains to getting certain things moved or making sure I get to where I need to go. But just little things, it would be cool if I didn't have to wear that hat. However, still wearing these hats gives room for character and also knowing what needs to be done, how you need to have it done. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So how I do want to talk about the Tiny Desk concert, the show, the movement,
The extravaganza.
moment, the extravaganza. Okay, how? What? I just want to know because I know you're wearing all the hats. Please break down like your whole creative everything. Like, how did you birth it? Like, what parts were you in bringing this to fruition creatively?
Well, shout out to little Rand, that is my inner child, and he wasn't allowed to participate in Halloween and dress up and trick or treat, so I decided I wanted to dress up for some of these shows on the tour, and one of the characters I wanted to do was Uncle Bobby, and not only did I want to do that, but for Tiny Desk, my creative director and wardrobe stylist and makeup artist, all that stuff, Mel.
I'm like, Mel.
Yes. She suggested that everybody participate. She said, not just you. And everybody did, from the sound guy to our tour manager to the merch, all that. Everybody was in costume.
For the tour?
No, for Tiny Desk specifically.
Wow.
There were a few other shows where everyone was in costume, but that one specifically. And I learned that I was the first one to ever cosplay on Tiny Desk.
Wow.
They said that our background singers were they hadn't heard anything like that before.
I saw that a bunch, that people were like commending how much you utilized them and just actually rehearsed. It was ready.
We only had one rehearsal.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, with everybody, with the band, because I didn't have the background singers with me on the tour. I just needed them for Tiny Desk specifically.
One rehearsal.
We did it at the Howard Theater, which was a sold-out show the night before. And I thank you. But they were on my very first tour when I went on the road in 2016 when I released Soundcheck. So there was already a synergy there. I trust them, and Duran sings with me with Badu. So knowing that they were going to have everything together, even the nuances, the cadences, I trusted them with that. And
Did you arrange everything?
Yes.
And you picked your set list?
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna. I traded one song out because I was gonna open up with new management, but then I thought that I was gonna have to do that at 10 o'clock in the morning, so I was like, okay, I need to switch up one of the songs, and so I did Sam's Vibe instead, which, by the way, I needed to do because that's my most streamed song by myself. So I just wanted to give that a little more push, and also give people the songs that I know that they want to hear. And also give them what they need. So even when I did Relocate and I decided to go country, or when we went rock with Stuck, or gave opera with Free Fall, and vaudeville jingles with Chops and Sade, and all these different things, all within 20 minutes. I'm good for abbreviating my sets just so that I can touch on so many different things if I have a limited amount of time, which is why I have wasted no time talking. As soon as one song was over and it subsided, next song. Thank you. E flat. So yeah, that I will say my nerves were everywhere.
Really?
Because when I walked in and I saw the office, I just collapsed to the floor.
That was a milestone?
It was. And like I said, in the middle of this tour, it was so much happening. I was trying to be as present and still as possible. And then we got out there, and I just kind of clocked out, and I started out smooth, and I just let it build, and I took everything seriously, from just getting rest to being quiet to not smoking on show days. I really wanted to give everyone my absolute best in whatever way that I could. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I live. I stand. What's the hardest part about being an independent artist, though?
The lack of coins. Lord Jesus.
Because it doesn't say... It's so wild just being from the outside looking in. Because it just feels so effortless for you.
Yeah.
And you're so resourceful.
That's what it is. Listen, I'm of the church of make it enough. And I think, at least for me, if the quality of the music is good, like really good, then that will live on, as we've seen with Renaissance. Ain't been damn visual.
Yeah.
But we've been able to really digest the music. And so that really made me not feel, granted, I don't really release visuals like that, because I just feel if I don't have the resources to really create or bring to life what I know this could be, I'd rather it just be in everybody's imagination
than to half-ass.
Right. And I can come back to this later when I do have it, because I'm not opposed to doing re-recording a lead for an old song and then releasing the visual.
That's dope. All right, so we're going to play independent trigger warning game.
Yes.
I'm going to say something that you hear as an independent artist, and just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, how it makes you feel.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be super long, unless you want it to be. But why don't you go on American Idol?
I'm not doing any more competition shows where I have to prove that I'm good enough for anything. I just don't have the energy. Unless I'm on the panel, I will not be participating.
I agree. Same. Here.
Yeah.
Why aren't you signed yet? I don't know why I said it like that.
Ooh, I know. Shit ain't made sense.
There's no budget, but it'll be a good look.
Oof. It depends on what it is, though. That would depend. Like if it was a tiny desk or, Breakfast Club. Something that would be, eyes would be on you. It would depend. What are the stipulations?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of like a budget, though, because it's value. Not all budgets have to be monetary. So, shame. Social media.
I need a break.
Does it stress you? Because, I felt that trigger. My bad.
I don't want to say it stresses me. I will say that I'm trying to just be more present, period, in my real life.
Yeah.
So, and just kind of give pockets of that to the day instead of the entire day. Yeah.
I get it. Owning your masters.
I know all about it.
Would you have it any other way? Would you be willing to give up your masters?
I'm not there yet. To sell my masters. No. I mean, it would just, again, it would have to make sense, but not my masters, Lord.
Get your hands off my masters.
Yeah.
Playlisting.
Oh, yes, get me on them. Get me on them.
What has your experience has been like in the playlisting space? I feel like I see you on playlists all the time.
What's crazy is
Ow.
there will be songs that will get added to playlists once I drop a project that I didn't think would get added to it. And so now on Wanderlust, the song that I did with Devin Tracy, that's the most streamed song on the album. That one cracked 1 million. So I was just like, oh wow.
You never know.
You
You
know.
never.
But Mango Butter is right behind it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that went kind of crazy on the
On
social
TikTok,
media. The TikTok kids loved it.
Baby. I love that.
And I saw Summer Walker.
She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And her singing Sam's Vibe and also hearing people practicing what I'm doing is a little, I have to remind myself I've been around for a minute.
You're a masterclass. You should receive that and believe that.
I love it.
Sound guys.
Ooh, say their name, know their name, okay, and keep it cute, and hopefully they will take care of you. Cause
How is that going into doing your own tour though? Like, did you have your own? Because
yes,
your father.
yeah,
Oh my God, you are so blessed.
yeah. With my dad, him being an audio engineer, there's little to no room for sound to be unacceptable, unless
such a
it's just
blessing.
completely out of his control. But yeah, there hasn't been too many instances where the sound was just really jacked up.
Bruh, I've had way too many.
Oh, what's your operatic name? What is her name? Because mine is Reginald.
Reginald?
Yes.
Can you give me one?
So I heard.
Not like what's your, like I just have it handy.
Yeah, it's a
Can you knight me right now? Can you
I don't know. Would Belle be
Bell? I mean, I feel like
no?
that's too like coy.
Coy? Somewhere like a Leontine or something.
Leontine.
Yes, but that's someone's actual name. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yes, but somewhere in that, yes.
In that world.
Yeah, get back to me.
Okay, I'll hold you to it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your most slept on song or project?
My most slept on song, I would say. Maybe Racket from the Durand album.
Why do you think so?
I call it the velociraptor of the album because if you're a fan of Jurassic Park, you'll see the Tyrannosaurus Rex or some other big dinosaur before you see the raptors, and you actually forget that they're there until later on. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh shit. And they come in packs, and they're really smart and intelligent. It's just, I feel like that song encapsulates that scenario or that metaphor.
I can dig it. Make sure y'all stream that. Has a major artist ever vouched for you or showed up for you in ways that like definitely helped your career?
Oh gosh.
And then it's twofold. So that, and how can the industry as a whole show up better for independent artists?
Gotcha. Well, Erica, Lena Waithe has definitely been supportive.
Mm-hmm. She loved music, good music.
Man, Leslie Jones. Who else? Gosh, I mean Anderson .Paak, Tierra Whack.
I love her. I want to work. I'm manifesting that right now while you're in my energy. I want to work with her one day.
Oh yeah. Kelly Rowland.
And how have they showed up for you? Like, what did they do?
I mean, I think just acknowledging, my thing is just being acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing where I was having a conversation with Rasan Patterson, and I always, especially in Tiny Desk, they're saying, man, he's giving me Rasan Patterson. Of course, I'm getting Prince a lot. Mm. But that's someone that I was listening to when I was growing up, and he was, just pouring into me, letting me know I've been really doing it for him as far as the musicality and the artistry. And I was sharing with him an opportunity that I got to record with a very legendary act. And while we're in the studio, they're laying down some things, and they're asking, our opinion about, how do you think? And I'm, saying, well, actually, I think you can do a better take. And they're like, okay, we'll run that back. Mm-hmm. And it's just, he's like, you do realize that they view you as their peers. And that's another thing that I have to catch my breath on, So when you inspire your inspiration, like those kind of things, those moments are just very pivotal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how do you think the industry can show up better for independent artists as a whole then?
Give us some radio time.
That was actually one of my trigger things that I skipped.
Give us some radio time. There needs to be a radio station that plays artists that are not signed to major labels. I think that'd be cool.
I like that.
That might be cool. or even on the major radio segments have radio shows have a segment.
Yep.
Where you mix it in or something.
Yep. Do you think radio's still important? I mean, no shade, no tea.
I mean, I do still feel that it. Granted, when you look at streaming services, though, you would think those are the new labels. Playlists are the new radio because because you can play whatever. There's no, however, still radio. Folks still listen to the radio.
Radio's king.
So.
And it affects your ability to chart, right?
I do believe so.
Yeah. Is that right, Devin?
Yeah, on a lot of charts, for sure. They count in radio play.
And it's to just get a song.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, isn't payola illegal? And yet,
you're talking about putting a down payment on a house in like Hollywood Hills type to get a song just into. So it's like,
how do you compete with that?
I know. You just got to keep putting your content out. You never know what's going to stick. Mm-hmm. It's the consistency. Mm-hmm. Even and it's always about feeding the beast. So when you do your skits, or when Beyonce was doing the welcome to the airlines, and you were like that's or Britney Spears, it's just that is hilarious. But that will reel people in, and then once you reel them in, oh yeah, by the way, y'all, I got some music. I got some content. I got this. I got some merch.
Yep. That's what I was just talking to Jared, who left right before you came, and he was just speaking to like he feels like he makes more money doing everything else but music, and has like been more focused on building his brand, and then the music will come, because in our era it really is about just getting that visibility and getting those eyes on you for whatever it takes, and then they just love you as who you are, and then they just want to consume whatever it is that you do.
So there are a few artists that I enjoy them as people or their personalities. Mm-hmm. So I'm more so a supporter of them, but maybe not all of the things that they do. So maybe if it's their music, or it might be their acting, but there could be an interview, or just how they portray their personality on their social media. It's just, that's what draws me in. So I think that also assists with the support. And I would rather have support than fans.
What do you mean?
So someone might feel, seen by what I do and how I present myself.
Yeah.
And so they will be at the show, or they'll support the merch, or they'll make sure that they're spreading the word about, oh, have you heard this, or putting my song on people's playlists, or getting it to certain places because they believe in it. So I've learned to really appreciate that type of support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get it. What does your team look like, and like what would you say to an independent artist that is vital to have? Like, even if it's 3, 2, 1, whatever it is, like, what are the most important pieces that allow you to be you successfully?
So I've seen a few different scenarios. I've seen one where you have an artist and they have their sibling or their relatives, and they're helping out, and wearing multiple hats, from booking to managing to travel, like all that stuff. Yeah. And that person is very dependable. That person is almost like in certain, like on my first tour, that's how Duran was for me, making sure I had everything together, and he was also singing background. So I think if you can't get more than one person, at least getting people that wear multiple hats, but also that believe in what you do.
That's the most important thing.
When I tell you,
I cannot work with someone who don't fuck with my stuff. I can't. It's already hard enough keeping yourself motivated. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not because we love what we do, but then sometimes we get in our heads. We're sensitive about our stuff. So we do need yes men. I disagree that you don't. I think we need yes men.
Yeah. I think there's a balance with it.
Yeah.
You know, tell me yes, but also tug on me when I'm tripping too. You know, don't have me out here looking crazy.
A yes man who keeps you grounded.
That. Yes.
Yeah.
That reminds me of what's my Holiday Heart when they said, "Here's to letting it all hang out privately."
I love it. All right, let's do some manifestation. Let's do some intentional time here, okay?
Yes.
What
Nam your
are...
head and get nam your head and get nam your head and get.
Ting. You know that? What are you going to do in the next year and a half? What is going to happen for you?
In the next year and a half,
Yes.
I'm not going to be thinking the same way that I do right now.
Elaborate, my friend.
Also, I've been so present that honestly, when people ask me, where you see yourself in 5 years, where do you see, I genuinely don't know. What I've been doing is I've been putting in work, putting in effort, making my connections, shaking and moving, grinding and hustling, and seeing what that can bring. Mm-hmm. So because I've been consistent, because I don't always have to get told what to do, I'm already doing it.
Yep.
I can be on Tiny Desk without a label.
And you're living in your manifestation.
That.
You kind of are living. Remember, I don't know if you remember, I'll be tweeting you, not tweeting you, but putting stuff on your Instagram all the time. But you're literally orbiting in abundance. Like, that's what I see when I look at what you've built for yourself. Like, you're in that. You are living your dream.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
And also, hopefully having more streams of support.
How so? I just want to be very intentional. That's what I mean when I say intentional manifestation.
Yeah.
I know we don't gonna have it all figured out, but just what does it look like?
Support financially, support in belief in me, to want to take a chance, to want to take a risk on me, for there to be eyes and ears on me to the point where it's like, oh, he needs to open up for Renaissance.
You need to open up for Renaissance.
He's ready. Like,
so that's what we're gonna. Can we manifest that? Can we manifest that?
Yep. Even
for
if
the states?
Even if it's just one date.
Which one we gonna do? Well, let's see. I think Atlanta.
Baby.
Atlanta. Okay, so congratulations on opening the Renaissance tour in Atlanta and then making such an impact that you continue to do the rest of the run. I can totally see that.
Listen, I'm here for it.
I can totally see it. And then shit, even if that's not what it is, you still doing your shit. And I'm so proud of you.
As Edna from The Incredibles said, luck favors the prepared. Okay. So,
all right, well, on that note, I don't even have a proper closing either. When I tell you, we just
Okay.
But thank you so much for coming on here.
Love you,
I love you so much. Do you have anything or where can we find you?
You can find me on
In the club.
Yes. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Durand Bernarr. You can find me on NPR during my Tiny Desk. I have Wanderlust that just dropped back in September. So that has Mango Butter and Leveled and all the other songs that'll help you with your clearing your skin and lowering your cholesterol, as we love. And I'm also going to be at Soul Bloom Festival in August in Sacramento.
A new date, y'all.
And I also have another festival coming up, but I'll be able to announce that a little later. But yeah,
And maybe by the time this comes out, you'll already seen it.
Yeah.
Because we don't know when this is coming out. Oh, my legs. Thank you guys so much.